Tape groups at the range teaching kids how to hood niggas on IG and Super Mario boots. UFO sightings, country fighting. I'm writing my truth. Unlike mysteries, till there's none, I'm God in the booth. Y'all music trash, pure ash, too much sass in the noose. A fashion over passion, boy, we rocking them Jews. Without a chain, I'm a rain, nothing vain, I'm just smooth. I done seen a lot of shit, I'm legit how I move. Moonwalk across steppers and I know how to groove. From a city full of pain, cops ain't looking for clues. If you survive who would have fit, let your whip be the tool. If you scared, say you scared, be prepared when they shoot. We was red, pure airs with no throne or rebuke. What that mean? All I see in supreme being is you. Me and AP, soon yes in the booth. I've been nice on the mic since barrels and troops.
Veer into the silhouette of the Metropolitan logo to perform pirouettes of a charlatan. Ergo, therefore, punishment is when the soulful penitent man passes, only to find the boastful pestilent man classless, and magnanimous men with toxic women laid, all posted soulless on their knees ever paid. Jammed darts, compressed press, cramped charts, even age vets, test threats, and regress to null sets. The poor righteous teacher is the man in magnificent debt, with idealism that makes centuries later important to his trade, where every word of worth walks to him as a babe's day, even when the enemy's dimensions seem endless. Swords, the sacred words use ink to draw blood seamless, circulate the understanding, characters of culture coalesce. Knowledge my bills of these times we lace to press. Word is bond, we were blessed. Right flying it even as we rise a notch. Songs captured of the birds you watch, caged in your replay. We lived what we say.
Iron butterfly, kick high and stay sane. Soon bears rookie scribes for gods to maintain.
The Boricua with the build. The true and living God stepping and score. My love is my lessons, so my heart was never stressing. Skill is straight alone. The lone low life with the home soaked garment. Ready for her with the grown dome armament. Steady on the throne as opposed to crop dismemberment. Stay trained and supplementing this embellishment with black tiger punch nutrients and strong word betterments. In a way with splatters that left patterns larger than like fatters. Where black matters and grab the shatters. Harder than a love for big batters. Can't come on, lock me in the boot to word spear. Righteous imprisonment, so many fear. So I start with a perforations tear the people's here. To wrap a lasso of a sentence to build a tassel of remembrance. Like perfection is a cipher of a state that never ends. Excavation into self severs hate and always bends. On the square, weak ideas muzzle. Complete breath in the lung muscle. Feel the stomach, expand the ribs and peak the shoulders. Ready to tussle, cripple the weak hustle. Reload and cheer my class of enlightenment. In this ashram, no one has entitlement. All the labels of oppression reverse into weapons of destruction and rewind. Instructive, I fucking resign. Blackboard got the thoughts of sword. Be ill, all in how you be. Born history's in advanced one sport sheet. Give the mistakes like the babies learn lessons. Never respect fate. These are scripts against devilishment. Additions of my own element, like effervescence of excellence, evoke elevation as embryos these drop on an elegant station. Examples of easel expression exemplified ecumenically. Equality for the herd of exemplary emblems, so exterminated exuberantly. Never egregious with executions of excellently enjoying a rendition. Sunez Allah, the inscription. So blare the parliament along. Please bring the cipher all is calm. The elders gave me all my arms as I share the self-styled song. So blare the parliament along. Peace brings the cipher, all is calm. The elders gave me all my arms as I share the self-styled song. Let the parliament alone. Peace brings the cipher, all is calm. The elders gave me all my arms. The record playing, enlightenment. Elimination of the ego was the hit single out of the mystery God jingle. Knowledge itself was the classic album. To listen and learn every single track anthem. The garments are just another rumpled Grammy. And any sales followers and praises tell them it grows alchemy. Sully did spilled penny or imbibed bourbon on a young and on the tour bus swerving. Gandhi made his own search in the merch, and the Theosophists lost the mystery dolo with Christianity and solo. Wonder it all as the Valdez swirls his thoughts through the pen of Lao Gong's chamber. Signed to the imprint in the heart of the mind, a perfect label. The label, arms, leg, arms, green head. Reaching the studio to the stage, preparation to performance, now breathing the fruits of a righteous wage. Journey the liner notes for the layman of the lyric sheets for the disciples. Man is mind, the thought is the tool, the universe is the build. One hears it faster and letting go of all sound slop spill. This is a story of the wavicle, where the black parts and the dark waves laugh, where the other man passively watches the life cycle. Black is the melanin everywhere, dark is the filled canvas ever filling anywhere. The maker and the owner, Allah say, The observer is the observed. J. Chris say. So the observation is the creator is in his own creation. Sunez Allah said. The creator is in his own creation. Sunez Allah said. Sunez Allah said.
Saying that. I'll be saying that. Peace. All right. I'm here for any of your questions. I wanted to be at the school. I love going to the law school the Thursday before show and proof, but a lot of times when I say I'm not going to the school, it's because I don't want to make people go to the school. You know what I'm saying? I want to give them the choice. I didn't want people to be out there in any kind of like bad air environment longer than they need to be. So I decided to just do it from here, from home, and we'll just build and hopefully get everybody's understanding, insights, questions, builds, what have you. Okay. All right. So whoever's in here, let me know who's in here. All right. All right. Peace to the God, substance. All right. Yeah, so that way people that listen to this, that lead off, I have it somewhere here. The show and prove is not at the usual Harriet Tubman School around the corner and up the block from a law school in Mecca. Let me see where I have this information saved. Okay, it should be here. Okay, so the show and prove, for those that don't know, it's the yearly event. Allah the Father, who founded our nation, who gave this knowledge to us in the streets, to the young of us. We commemorate the reality that Allah can't die because Allah is the best part, the children, right? So we were endless. We are endless. We are infinite. And that celebration focused on the youth is the show and prove event that we have every year. And it happens on the second week of June, second weekend of June. And it lies this weekend right now. So the second weekend. And so tomorrow, Friday, is the meet and greet. So if you go to a law school in Mecca on 127th Street, right? 126th Street, 7th Avenue, right? 2122, from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's a meet and greet. Meet a lot of the gods and earths. A lot of the people that come from everywhere, they meet there. Saturday afternoon, actually, evening at a law school in Mecca again, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. There's a family cookout. And Sunday is the big event, the educational show and prove, But this is not going to be held at Harriet Tubman. It's going to be at P.E.A.C.E 92. That's on 222 West 134th Street. That's from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so that's in there 2 to 8 p.m. You know what I mean? And hopefully it goes even longer, and we just build in there as long as we can. Outside we go back to the law school, whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody, it costs $10 for everybody there. Children under 16 is free. You know what I mean? So it's really a children-centered event, though. But come see us all. You know what I'm saying? This is why I get to see a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters I haven't seen in a long time. So, it'll be nice. I love to see everybody there that I haven't seen in a long time. You know what I mean? And the weather better be right and exact. You know what I'm saying? It better be good, you know. And I was on Dark Kim's. Dark Kim was giving the details, you know, along with his build. So I'll be posting that information up on my social media and all that kind of stuff too. Yes, yes. Let me tell you something about the books, right? I'm not carrying on my catalog with me. When I go to show and prove, I don't really go to sell things. But because we live in a digital world, I may or may not carry my sample books. You know what I'm saying? So I might carry my sample books. You know what I'm saying? I might carry my sample books with me so everybody could see what they would be getting. You know what I'm saying? The new book, the lyric book, Mantras of the Me Across the Medina's lyric book. I'll talk about that a little bit just because it's in the canon of books and people keep asking me that are in the nation. These books I may bring with me so people could look at them, but these are just draft copies. You know what I'm saying? They're beat up. They might even have some of my notes in there. You know what I'm saying? But to get a visual of what books you would like to have, you know what I mean? If anybody buys a book off me, like you give me your address and I copy down, I get your information, and you PayPal or Cash at me or whatever, there at the show and prove, I send you a free book of your choice, you know what I mean? Along with the book that you bought, you know what I'm saying? And they're not going to be sold at the price that they are in Amazon, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be sold much lower and stuff like that, you know? So, right? So, and that goes along to anybody that, you know, is interested. The pre-order to the new book, Mantras Across the Medina's album that I did with King Kamal. That's our duet album. That book is coming out soon. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of fun and an interesting perspective making an album after 27, 28, you know, almost 30 years doing hip hop. Let's say 27, actually, 27, you know? So 27 years doing hip hop, and I never wrote a rhyme to try to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Only featured on certain people's songs and everything, but they're not clearly not bars like that. So making songs, you know, devising them, constructing them, worrying about pockets and beats and tempo and choruses and all that kind of shit. So I wrote a lyric book about that experience though. And certain, you know, there are certain lines in there, like lines in the song. I break down lyrics in the of each song, and certain lines, like one or two lines, they end up becoming 1,000-word essay on the science of certain things, the science of that line, different journeys, my experiences. So it's a powerful book. You know what I'm saying? It isn't just like a thin, tiny little lyric book, you know, with just the lyrics for the songs. This book is at least 150 pages. You know what I'm saying? At least, you know, and it's just about this from, you know, me branching off from the songs and all the features that are in there. Peace to the Earth, Wisdom Infinite, right? Also known as Backwoods Sweetie. I have profiles on the people that came out on an album, my thoughts on their verses. So if you loved, as you should, any of the features that were on the album, because all these features completed the song. They really completed the song. They made the songs what they needed to be, and they're essential. That's my word, by the way, essential. And you can springboard off that, and like you'll know where to go to enjoy the artists that are on the album. So if you said, "Oh, Backwoods Sweetie, I need to hear everything from her," then you're gonna know exactly what you're gonna get, where to go to get it, and all that kind of stuff. Who she is, everything, you're gonna get that. You know, so everybody in there, AP to Overlord, Infinite Mind, you know, all of the features you'll know about them as well. My thoughts about them, you know, people like Infinite Mind. I got you know, gods I known for like 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Almost 25 years. You know what I mean? Right? So that's a wonderful thing. But I just want to say that because it's show and prove. The real thing is that I want to give some type of free. If you buy a book from me, it's gonna be like I doubt even the thickest book here, like the Reel of 2022, this monster of a book. I'm not gonna be selling this for like the normal price. The normal price is 40. Like this, and these books take me all year to write. You know what I'm saying? And they're very difficult to write. You know, because it's like being in a perfume shop. I have to reset. I have to recalibrate my ears. Let's say if I hear certain type of records with certain very drum powered records, and I hear too many of them, I can't just continue writing. You know what I'm saying? I have to give them the respect, the perspective, all of those things. And so that takes even extra. So there's even time taken to make this book while I'm not writing. You know, so it's a hard book to make. And I just make this for the catalog of the culture. But if anybody buys any book off me, it's probably I'll probably sell every book for $20, you know what I'm saying? And still give you the free book, you know what I mean? And probably, you know what? That'll probably be it, you know, $20, you get a free book. If you buy a book from me at the show and proof, you know? Like you can't just say you're gonna get it from me. You gotta pay up during that show and proof. But other than that though, I hope that when we go to show and prove, I've been enough of a service to the nation that I'm not going there to just milk people. You know what I'm saying? Peace, freedom. I'm not bringing any books with me. I will not be bringing any physical books. I will only be bringing this sample book so people could see. Okay, because there's one copy I have of the Peace Course book, and that's going for that belongs to AP, the Overlord, the God. That's it. That's all I have in here. Every time I order books and I get them, I sell them. So I don't hold them for that long. You know what I'm saying? So if you order from me there, like if you buy it from there, I'm going to mail it out like Monday. Like I'm literally going to send it out because I send them out they get sent out automatically when I send in the order. You know what I'm saying? To the publisher. So if you give me your address and you buy it there, you can get it. And that deal stands with anybody that buys a book from me there, you know? And of course, if you pre-order the book, the lyric book to the album, you get the album digitally if you don't have it, and you get a free book anyway. You know what I'm saying? So there it goes. You know what I'm saying? So there it goes. You know, and I hope that's you know. Well, Harmony, you got to be going to show and prove. Then it would be dope. You was have show and prove. You know, I mean, there's no finals to stay home and watch though, because your Celtics got knocked off. You know what I mean? And so we could, watch the most boring finals in the universe, right? And watch the most boring finals though. Two guys get triple doubles, and I'm sleeping over here. You know what I mean? Like I'm totally bored. You know what I mean? No, man, I didn't. You know. No, Harmony. I'm desensitized to all basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I'm desensitized to all basketball. But this probably started when Charles Smith kept getting blocked in the playoffs in '94, and all I could hear in my head was Marv Albert going, "Smith, stop! Smith, stopped! Smith, stopped!" And that was the trauma. You know what I mean? The trauma. It was pretty much over there. Me rooting for a team, because I said I do the Mets, man. I can't do more than this. You know what I mean? You know, I can't die over two teams. But again, like I said, these books, I want to go there and see my family. I don't want to go there and be sitting. And if people are vendors, they deserve to. They pay their money. Vendors are like $30 a table. They pay their table. They should be there. So if I sell anything, it's because you came up to me and you said, "Listen, you got these books, Sunez." I said, "I'll let you look at the book." You know what I mean? Like if you look at this and you could wrinkle it up and you say, "What'd you say about Rome streets?" And I said, "Well, you look for it though. You see what I said, If you need me to have said something good about Rome streets. That's my man right there. That's my brother right there, right? Then you check it out and everything. But I'm not bringing, you know, it's 5. I've written 5 books, man, and they're heavy as well. This is just, if I brought one of each, it'd be like this. So if I brought, let's say, 5 of each, or and everything like that, I'd be carrying things, and I lift enough weights during the week. You know what I'm saying? Right? But again, if you order from me, you know what I'm saying, like, then I got you. And Freedom, if you want to, you already have the book, you want to get another one, listen, email me. I'll give you a deal. You already got one from me. You want another one? I give you a deal. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's Peace Ups. I appreciate you. All right. Pint Man, peace from MX. MX, what's MX? Please enlighten me. MX, where is that? I don't know if that's supposed to be a symbol or something, you know. I don't know. Malik, you asked, was it hard doing so? Doing what? Making the books? Let me know what you mean. What was hard? Because every aspect of my life is hard, though. So I don't know what part I would say is easy. Wise, peace. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, or don't play in the Celtics. Yeah, heal. Yeah, listen, this is how I healed though. Since the 2000s, I only watch for players. I'm a player mercenary. That's how I was. I always rooted for the Knicks when I started though, but it was really all about Isaiah Thomas when I was a kid and Michael Jordan. You know, watching the brilliance of Michael Jordan and rooting for Isaiah Thomas and rooting for Kevin Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And all the other guards, point guards. It was all about that. You know what I mean? The little guys doing it. Muggsy Bogues, who should be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? They don't know what it's like to play at that height, though. You know what I'm saying? Peace of true self, right? That's right. This day of build destroyed, right? All right. Pipe Man. Oh, okay. Mexico. Why didn't I figure that out? All right. Mexico, right? I had the 5 books. The Filtered Reel, Essays from the Invisible Renaissance. These are essays from the entire decade from 2010 to 2018, okay? And a focus on that last year, 2018, to describe in detail this era that I call the Invisible Renaissance, right? In music, in hip-hop music. Then I have 2 books of cataloging the best music of those years. So the Reel of 2021 and 2020. Right, so this is let's see how many pages. This is about 380 pages detailing those years. Okay, yeah, and this is the same book for last year, 2022, and this one I wrote even more. It's bigger. Probably the next reel of 2023 will be a better. I think I'm writing better, especially after making this album with King Kamal. But I think that they are coming out shorter. Concentrated supremacy, right? Saying more with less, and it's allowed me to be able to write about more albums because I've been focusing on the lyric book, and I'm actually behind about 40 albums to write on in the Reel of 2023 book. That's how difficult this book is. I spend 1 month writing another book, and I'm behind about 40 albums. You know what I'm saying? So they better be good. Right. And then art and art, because what I do, I consider to be an element of hip hop, creative writing in the journalism, historian field of hip hop. These are the extracted poems and prose that show the creativity inside of all of the technical reviews, music analysis writings, interviews, features that I've done to show the poetry, the beauty of what I consider to be my element. And my man PQ did this beautiful drawing, you know what I'm saying? And so that's my poetry, right? I'm making another one now too about love, you know what I mean? So every time I'm listening to too much soul and too much blues and too many jazz ballads, that book gets another entry, you know what I'm saying? And this is the Peace Course. These are built on two major works that I wrote in the very beginning years of me teaching this P.E.A.C.E course that I am doing right now. And I wrote about what would be that one letter that if I could give it to somebody, they could live off this insight that I have to share. And that's the kind of perfection. And the blackest pedagogy is that choice to teach and what I will be as a teacher. I wrote that in 2003. And the beauty of publishing it now and the honor of publishing now is I think that I've come closer to achieving that. So this is very personal, but I would say that this is personal. These are probably the most personal books that I have. The Mantras Across the Medina book, lyric book, will be very much into even more directly intimate than these books. You know what I mean? I spilled a lot of heart on that lyric book. You know what I'm saying? So those are the books, Pipe Man. All right. I just sent out books to Mexico. So I do send them out. You know what I mean? Malik, oh, you asked me, was it difficult to write the lyrics book? No, not as difficult as it was to excuse me. It was not nearly as difficult to write the lyrics book as it was to write the lyrics. One of the reasons I wrote the lyric book was to first share my thoughts about this stuff, but I really wanted to honor what King Kamal did for me. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain things that he did for this album that I couldn't do. And I don't even mean on the artistic side, which is true, but on every level. And I wanted to give him that respect, that honor, that love, because what he did for me with this album is the epitome of what brothers do for each other. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I wrote, I wanted people to know how dope King Kamal is. I wanted them to know some insight as to how you make a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how someone that has written about songs, has learned about songs, has known things about songs from people that made songs that they didn't even notice of themselves. But I was able to channel that out, and to finally do that, I wanted to do that with myself. You know what I'm saying? I was telling somebody, like, there's so many people that have given me the blessing to interview me for this album, but there's only been one person that interviewed me. And I won't say his name now because then they'll look at the other interviews, because I'm appreciative of them all. But there's only one person that actually heard the album and listened to it. You know, so how could anybody do journalism the way I do if they didn't even listen to the album? You know what I mean? So that's I wanted to just share that, those ideas, you know what I'm saying? And some of them, because there's so many deep issues, I wanted to share the perspectives that I have, not just the intimacy, like in songs like All Because of a Woman, which are about relationships, you know what I'm saying? And however anybody judges relationships, though, I don't care what anybody says, the type of relationships that I have had have been major. You know what I'm saying? They've been lengthy, they've been long, they've been detailed. You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot of repercussions. I like children. So I had a lot to say. And so I wanted to show that process of how I could share. I've been sharing my whole life every single day. That's what happens when you teach this long and you write this long, you know what I'm saying? And I never shared like that. And that amazed me. I wanted to share that. I wanted to explain songs like The Inscription, you know, because that has a lot of creative process that I think it'll sound poetic and nice, but there still might be things that people don't, you know what I'm saying, understand and would like to know what they meant, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the wonder of art. You know, there are people like great musicians like Miles Davis that when they write things, they just want to leave it. Let the people understand it. Miles Davis, he didn't even want to name his songs. You know, he just wanted it to have like just be there. But I think that as a journalist, I didn't necessarily want to give away all of the cues that people didn't want to give away, but I wanted people to understand the depth of what people were writing about, were sharing about. Um, and in hip hop, particularly because it's a lyric driven, spoken lyric, so it has more lyrics, and when it has more lyrics, it has more detail, so it's different than a song. And a lot of hip hop should not be seen as interpretive. They should have an idea that you get, like you get the song, you get the artistic part, but then you should have an understanding that you get out of it. Like there's concrete ideas, and I've always had the ability. The train. This is not an ability I was born with. This is something I trained myself to be. So um, like with King, he showed me something, and I heard the lyrics that he didn't quite hear. That's the training of the ear to hear the words. I focus the most on the words, and then the breaking down the beats, so everything channels into its own tracks. Like in my mind, when I hear music, though, everything breaks into the tracks. You know. So I wanted to share all these ideas, you know what I mean? Inscription, cycle of trife, like why I wrote that, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, you know what I'm saying? Why is it really about dissing a rich rapper, or is it something deeper? You know what I'm saying? And in there are insights about philosophy, about mental facilities, philosophical ideas, thoughts on righteousness that I drop in that verse that are the real jewel. They're the whole reason I wrote that verse. You know what I'm saying? And the joy of tying in whatever I was doing to what Kamal was doing, you know, or Kamal tying into what I was doing, you know. It was so much fun, you know what I'm saying? And then just, like I said, having the joy of going through Kamal's verses and really give him the fine tooth comb, giving that journalistic comb, and weave a picture, so when you listen to it again, you're like, and this guy, man, he's gliding, you know what I'm saying? He's gliding, he's swerving, you know what I'm saying? Just and that's why I wrote the book, you know what I'm saying? And it's personal. Like years from now, I would like not just my children, but for myself, even to know that journey I want. Your journals are so important. I said, this is a journal that I don't want it to be forgotten how I made this album. If I get worse or King, I'd like to think I'm getting better because we made a few songs already after it. I think I've been throwing some smoke and the God been ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So just having more fun and putting that kind of creativity into the context of all the creativity that I'm doing already and other things, So, because everything is creative. When I do martial arts, I'm creative. Like a lot of people, even my own student, I was training one of my students, and he kind of thought that what I was doing at a particular moment was set moves. And I said, no, that's not set moves. That's my understanding of the moves, but completely creative. You know what I'm saying? So if I do, something like this, there's creativity involved in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm expressing myself within the context of its usefulness, So everything that we do is creative. You know what I'm saying? And everything becomes a blessing when you see the creativity in it, though. You know what I mean? Right? And so it's a lot of fun. So that's what the lyrics book. That's what the lyrics book is. That's what these books are. I'll be at the show and prove. You know what? I will have a book bag with me. So if people want to look at that, I got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll show you the book. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm only bringing one copy that I'm giving, that somebody bought, that I given it to them. And that's AP the Overlord. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It won't be for anybody else because I already wrote in it. I already wrote what? The inscription. No, but I already wrote in it though. But everybody else though, you can look through them. Like you say, I don't know. You know, these poems is Sunez official like that with the poetry, and I'll be like, come on, dude, come on, B. Like, you know, like if you go up there and you recite this, you go up there and you recite this at the show and prove, you have yourself a winner right there. You know what I mean? Right? But if people, like I said, the deal is out there, people, and I'll let people know. You know. Oh man, y'all appreciate that, King. You know what I'm saying? Right? When I do this stuff, I'm just working to, man, you got me locked in to just be creative, like be in the pocket, right? And express myself as fly as possible. You know what I mean? Right. Malik, you said together they all have value and it depends what mood you're in. I love the album. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. You know, appreciate that, Malik. Harmony, you know, I haven't thought about making, you was asking me for inscription too. I haven't thought about that, about a second one, but I have some stuff that is kind of heavy like that. You know what I mean? Right? Show and prove. What show and prove always was, though, when you go to show and prove, if anybody is their first time or something like that, is to try to meet all the elders. You know, this is your chance to say, like, listen, everything else might have felt, this may be the case. This is the case for a lot of people. And I noticed that, like one of my students, he didn't know that the classes are free. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never charge for anything, you know? And what he was saying made me think that maybe people are feel uncomfortable going to the school. Like when I used to go to a lot of school as a newborn, this is real. This is not a thing or anything, but Puerto Ricans are not running into the school like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially by themselves. So before me at a lot of school, they wouldn't know what to do, what to say. So they may not ask around, you know? And they don't always get lucky because the elders at the school generally are extremely inviting. See Allah, remembered in perfection. You know, my enlightener, knowledge me, remembered in perfection. Allah be remembered in perfection. Savior knowledge. You know, Dumar Wadi, remembered in perfection. Wise Jamel, remembered in perfection. Firstborn Prince, remembered in perfection. Infinite Al Jamar, remembered in perfection. These are all elders that embrace me. You know what I'm saying? They invited me in. You know what I'm saying? And I was welcome. I felt welcome from day one. I always tell people, and this is the honest truth, the biggest beefs I've had, the only beefs really I've had have been with people my age range. You know what I'm saying? My age range. You know, no one else. Right? But yeah. So when you go to show and prove, the positive thing is that this is your opportunity. This is not at the meet and greet too at a law school Friday, right? It's called a meet and greet so you can feel comfortable to say, hey, listen, I'm so and so. You know what I mean? And even at the show and prove, go up to someone and say, listen, I'm, you know, I don't know. I know if you know who they are, maybe you saw them on the YouTube chat, you know, the Law School of Mecca page, and you say, listen, you know, I saw you on the Law School of Mecca page on this, and I wanted to meet you, or like I had a question, you know, and be prepared to answer who you are and where you are, what you are, where you're from, what you're learning, where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Pie Man, the Show and Prove is the yearly event that the 5% Nation of Gods and Nerds, us, have every year. And we do it around the weekend of June 13th. Okay. This year it falls on this weekend, June 9th, Friday, 10th, Saturday, and June 11th. It'll be in Harlem, in the school on 134th Street. Okay. I don't know why I closed the information. I had the information open and I closed it. And I just want to say again where the Show and Prove is. Show and Prove event, though, the major Show and Prove event, Pie Man, is on Sunday. And that's at PS 92 at 222 West 134th Street. So I don't know if you're out of Mexico at this moment, but that's where it is. It's a yearly event to commemorate that Allah doesn't die. Allah is all of us. So we come together, you know what I'm saying? And the babies are the greatest, and that's the major theme. The theme should not be, even though it's so often been, to go over there and see a rapper, you know, or to see, oh, look, okay, I like this rapper again because he actually showed up. You know, now I hope nobody looks at me like a rapper, you know what I'm saying? And said, look, he's about that rap life, you know. But when you go to the Show and Prove, you know, do the knowledge. And like if you're not sure, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where you develop your nerve to do something, you know what I'm saying? And what the worst that can happen is that you'll get, you know, let's say somebody bombs you, somebody's rude to you. How is that different from real life? You know what I'm saying? You know? And I guarantee you that if, let's say it's me, you've been watching the class and you never say anything, or you stay online, you don't go to the school, I wouldn't chastise you for not coming to school if you're nearby, or if you didn't say anything and that's your first time there. Approach me. I'm approachable. I'm like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right? People, I'm gonna say this. I don't care how many videos people see about me doing kung fu, this and that. That has nothing to do with my reality as far as dealing with the people. You know what I mean? I'm very approachable if you're worried about any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be wearing polo. I'm not, you know. I kind of know what I'm gonna wear because I've had a favorite shirt for like the last 2 months and it's not getting warm, so I might wear that same favorite shirt because I just like, it's my favorite shirt right now. But that's peace. Bye, man. Indigo, peace, queen. Yeah, yeah. I do have ideas for Inscription too, but I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I gotta make it, you know, a little bubble, you know. But I can't front though. One thing is that I write on deadline. I write on deadline very good. So I don't know if I'd be that person that could write something on the spot in the studio, because I still work hard to make everything flow. But I write things that are, to me, beautifully written on the spot. Whether they merge to the beat, then that takes me some time to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'd be a spot on in the studio kind of guy. I don't think so. You know, because I've seen people do it on the spot like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when King Kabon be putting the pressure on me and stuff, that's how I came up with Inscription. So that was it. That was bubbling and having to do something of a high quality for a long time. And then it just came, you know, just bursted out like that. You know what I'm saying? King, you said, is it crazy to you when someone who wasn't there when you were try to tell you how gods whom you walked and talked with were? Oh, yeah, all the time. all the time. That happened. That's been happening for a while, ever since the law school at Mecca page started sharing video clips of me from the school. Like, remember, he started that page. I don't know if I look it up now. What is? Let me see. Allah school. I Yeah, like when he started this page, I was already teaching for. I don't know when it's. Yeah, yeah. Is it this page? He started in 2014. Like, I was already teaching at the school for 14 years. You know, he started in 2014. I was already teaching for 14 years. You know, so, and that's way past how longer than anyone else has taught a continuous class. You know what I mean? So people have been doing that since for almost, yeah, like 9 years, I guess. You know, like all this stuff. Who is that? I even got called a Berber, a Berber. Like, I'm a Middle Eastern Berber. Like, I'm not even a Middle Easterner for today. Like, I didn't look like that to them. I looked like an ancient Berber, which, by the way, is funny because, if you read Sertima's literature, scholars, right? Well, there's still white scholars today that still argue that they're white, but the truth is that the Berbers were really original people too, but they were considered savage. You know what I'm saying? And they were called barbarians. And there's argument whether they were called barbarians to slight them or because they really were savage. So, because there's not much detail. So, Golden Age of the Moor, I think, is it Golden Age of the Moor or African presence in early Europe that has that essay, or those warring essays of conflicting ideas about the Berbers? It's one of those. I think it's Golden Age of the Moor, has those essays, I was thinking about that because I saw the guy Rakim Shabazz and he was going at it with a white pseudo scholar, saying that Mansa Musa was white. You know what I'm saying? What a savior trope. So even history has a super white man leading an African empire. Like, come on, man. And I had this funny thought when I woke up. I'm this light, so I know that in the future, they'll be known that King Kamal did an album with a darkened white man. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a you know a you know a white Caribbean man. I don't know. Oh shit! Right? Life, a lot, peace. Thank you, thank you. I don't look back. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the chance often to look back at what I'm doing because this is a real hustle. Like, I work all these creative things now to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, really survive while I try to make money in other areas. You know what I'm saying? So it's always part of the necessary funds. And so, like, when people buy a book off me and stuff like that, like, it's not put in a fun account. That's not the way I'm living right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get the chance to look back. And I always felt that the other thing, besides having the nerve to go and meet people that you should meet, get that knowledge there. Like, this is where you have them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. One of the reasons though I don't go there is that it's an honor to go to show and prove and see family I haven't seen in a while, and then also that people will come up to me and ask me questions that maybe they didn't have the nerve to go ask, didn't think that they should sit in a classroom setting, or didn't have the Thursday night to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or the nerve to email or something, or maybe I missed the email. You know what I'm saying? Like, to confront me and ask me things and get me for a lengthy build there. Like, it's why I don't say, let me put in the money and get a table. And so I'm not going there for that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be, especially, like, I'm not going to have my children this weekend. So when I go to show and prove with my daughter, especially my young one, she's going to tug me and break up the ciphers I start. You know what I'm saying? So if you try to build with me though, she's gonna bomb you anyway, because she'll punish me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she'll get mad at me and stuff. But I'll be on my own. So You know what I mean? I remember, what was it, last year's Show and Prove? She wanted to go to Westerly Natural Food Market. That's like the big health food store in Columbus Circle, and get lentil soup. And she did not bother me until we left to get lentil soup. You know what I mean? And I was bad dad until we said okay, because she knows, like, I start building those. She knows that nobody's gonna tell me to stop. You know what I'm saying? But it was still good. You know what I'm saying? Still good. Um, but yeah, it's always funny. It's always crazy when somebody acts like I wasn't there or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, they funny like that. Yeah, Malik. Yeah, I hope you're there, Malik. Yeah, we got to get some flicks. Yeah, we definitely got to get a flick. King, you said some people are afraid to attend Show and Prove because they don't want to be attacked, bombed, like the horror stories some people like tell or see on YouTube. That could happen too. You know what I'm saying? That could happen too. Like, not everybody's as tempered as me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stopped myself, because I almost like went in on Michael Muhammad Knight when he went to Show and Prove. But I let it go because I was with my kids, and they kept me from, I was like, I just let it go. I was like, devils. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, King, right? If you say what you know and you do know it, but you don't know other things, then it's based on them judging you whether you should know certain things, And it's like, I stopped doing that a long time ago. Like, most people will criticize people for not memorizing lessons, or you had the lessons this long, you should have been did this, that, and the other. I do not criticize for that. If I do that, I do it personally, from student to teacher to student, but I don't do it with people that I don't know, no matter how heinous the story is. I tell them, you could do better. If you want to do better, then you do better. If not, then that's what it is. Because that's what it is. Because I know that there are many people I've taught that have not memorized 120, and I learned during the journey that isn't what they're going to do. But if I could give them tools, they could do something great out there under the guise of this knowledge that it's major prerequisite. And like I would say, the major prerequisite is that there is no mystery God. Right? All of that above and below is here as the midway path, right? To guide it all, to administer it all, to create it all. You know what I mean? But Life Allah said, nothing to be afraid of if you know your lesson, because it's a blessing, and being bomb only makes you stronger. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? And I say this though, like, there are people that go to places to bomb because they don't have a great life. So they're dying to find out if you not writing exact and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And for me, the judgment I have for people that Show and Prove, whether it's my student or anybody else, is not just if you memorize lessons, but if you could say that what you learned and what you knew and what you say you know at that moment, if you could show me that you truly understand it, and there is some type of culture, some type of living reality that you have done. Because Show and Prove to me was embodied when I saw it was maybe it was 2000 or 2001. I saw my brother Justice, aka you all know him as the MC J Live, right? And J Live, he said to me, so for this Show and Prove, he was in a cipher. So he said, what have you shown and proven? You know what I'm saying? And I never was without an answer for that, though. I've done plenty things every single year. So I said what I had done. And that's why it's nice to have that moment to reflect and say, in this half year, what have I done? What have I completed? Am I on the path to complete real things? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we should be proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Like the works that we've shared, the great things. You know, like I'm looking at Indigo. What a barrage of works. You know what I'm saying? That have to inspire everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just on the albums alone and the quality. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. In my collection, I got one, two. I got how many I got here? I got three. I got four. I got five. Right? Six. Right? I got seven. I got seven Indigo Phoenix LPs, EPs, featured albums, right? I got that Rugged Triad too. And that's work. That's inspiring to people. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at show and prove, like what are we show and proving? What's the worth of our work? You know what I'm saying? When people could go back and say, listen, if I could do it like that, if I could do things with as much vigor and verve, and or if I could spend time learning about something as intensely as she is doing work, you know what I mean? Like it's not about just making stuff if you're not there to make it. But what it took for Indigo Phoenix to make all those works, what if I could go out there and learn something of genuine worth to myself and learn it as intensely as she had to have put in the work to intensely make these projects. So it's not always about the physical product, you know, but like you'd be there at Show and Prove and say, you would earnestly say, listen, I don't really have much to show physically, but I really, really, really have studied intensely. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have physical things to show, then make them. Like, you know, get out the journal. Get your journal, you know? You know, get your journal, you know? Get your journal. Write your journals. You know what I'm saying? Right? Write your journals, you know? Get the works out there. You know what I'm saying? Even with all the work I do, I still make sure I get 10 pages in this journal every week. You know what I mean? And so if you that's 500 pages every year. And that's the low year. I did this low because I know I'm writing songs, I'm writing books. I even wrote liner notes this year. So like everything. So I get 10 pages every week. My thoughts, ideas, insights to the books I read. That is going to be over 500 pages every year. You know what I mean? What if you took all the things you learned and said, listen, I'm going to write at least 5 pages a week. 5. Just start with 5 because 5 will give you 250 plus. And you get 5 pages about either a book I've read that week, the things that happened that week, right? Or something else. You know what I'm saying? Right? So that's you know, that's what I think is like the worth of it, you know. Be divine. Though you said let me hear a 16. Nah, I only got the written joints in, you know, like I got if I share it, then it'd be a super exclusive. I don't know if King would allow that. I don't think he'll allow that. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got so much stuff, man. It's not even. You know, it's funny. You asked me in front of all my work here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on the laptop. You know, so everything is out in front of me and stuff. You know? All right, what do we have? Let's see some of these other comments. 793rd, peace. All right, the God, Sim. Peace to God, powerful. You know what, though? It's the things, we all have our own forums to do certain things. And that's what's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like even I'm looking like Indigo. I see my brother Substance here. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to put out this much work of a high quality, like people's gonna go back years later and be like you know, when you pick up an album, you're like, yo, how come I haven't heard this? Like you ever go back? Like I'll just name it like a great legend. Like you go back and you go, man, how the hell did I go this long without hearing Sly and the Family Stone? Like how did I go this long without hearing, you know, this Marvin Gaye joint? You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna be with people like Indigo, people like Substance. You're gonna go back and be like, Lion's Share? Are you serious? They're gonna find that stuff. This is why I write like that, because there's so much in there, so much insights. And one thing about art is that it shows us how to express ourselves. You know what I'm saying? People think like you listen to rap. That's what I say. They listen to hip hop and they get a way of moving in a slang, but no, that's not what's happening on the surface level. What you're learning is how to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was young, I was listening to KRS One, and then I would be like, he's expressing ideas that are opening my mind. And then I would listen to Guru, and it's like, yo, he's showing the ethics and principles in a way of how you move. And I'm learning like that's the way that you move honorably. That's how you answer to not selling out. That's how you answer to be authentic in any cipher, the street, the boardroom, everywhere. Like you're learning how to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to lead to your next step. So I want all the children, whether they don't have to be that, but just like everybody tries to rhyme, everybody tries to sing, everybody tries to play sports, realize that you're trying to learn to express yourself. And if those means are not your talents, don't look at it like it's not your talent. Look at it as like, what other ways can I express myself? Because I need to express myself. And that's the journey, you know what I mean? And this great music shows that with such a high flood, like, you know, like you could spend the whole week just rocking, you know, Substance 810 songs, you know, and his albums, you know what I mean? That the catalog is that powerful. It's definitely that lengthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you now, like, you know, like he's got at least 100 songs in the vault that are high quality. You know what I'm saying? Of a superb nature. You know, that ought to inspire. That has to inspire. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at these things as like show and prove that we can complete things. You know what I mean? We can complete them. That's what show and prove is all about. Yeah, so yeah, Malik is right. You know, it's love at the show and prove. You know what I mean? Because there's always somebody that didn't show and prove. You're gonna go to show and prove where people just want to see if others didn't show and prove because they didn't show and prove. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Right? And I got the instrumentals, you know, in the bag. You know what I mean? I'm on the last stages of the book. You know, I'm adding some, you know, adding on to it though. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see what we have here. Descriptions. Absolutely, Indigo. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Sim, you asked me if I heard of a label called Daptone Records. Yes, Daptone. Sharon Jones, right? Sharon Jones, the great Sharon Jones. Remember the fact? I love Sharon Jones. I love Sharon Jones music. You know what I mean? I'm still mad because she was when she passed away. I think cancer. Remembered Imperfection. She was so inspiring because she was always great and had that second career and did it. And I love that. And Sharon Jones, um, one she was what do they call it though? Summer stage. She was on a Central Park summer stage one time and it was free. And I forget when it was, and I just didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, I gotta get the next one. And for some reason I never got to see her live, you know what I mean? But yeah, all that Daptones got lots of people, right? Right? They got a a lot of pure soul. I think Charles Bradley's there. That's where this guy that does a lot of stuff, Menahan Street Band. Yeah, you got a lot of good music on there. You know, real gritty type shit. You know, I think of today's sound, like they got that sound, that retro revival, but also too, I like everything that Adrian Young does. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's hip hop, soul music, his versions of jazz, blues. Like I love Adrian Young production. You know what I mean? He's dope. You know what I mean? But that's on the same wavelength. Dude. I love Sharon Jones, man. I got the whole catalog though. I even blast the Christmas album though. I don't care. Everything is fire. You know, the way to make a show improve great is by going, but also go there with the idea that you showed improve. You know what I'm saying? You go there to show improve. You know? And for those that showed improve, and I'm keeping it real, like for me, I feel that I showed improve. I got works, I built, I've been out there. So when I go, I keep it real. It's a celebration for me. I celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like an album release though. You know what I'm saying? Like like in my mind, show and prove the whole thing for me is like I have the Ghostface Killer, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole, we made it beat in my head the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a show and prove for me, because I'm I'm thinking back. I'm thinking like, yo, fucking did it. You know what I mean? Right? That's the show and prove right there. That's that's the beat in my head the whole day. So if you see me, I don't do the ego thing, but I might be out there like this. You know what I mean? Yo. Oh no. Yeah, man. It's got to be like that. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be a celebration that we building that. Like, yo, we're still like, yo, even if you feel like you didn't, but like you lasted. Like you still here. Like you're one of the 5%. Like you're one of the 5% still living. You know what I'm saying? You still here. You still building on. You know what I mean? Like, and let it be a charge. Like, yo, half the year, I'm gonna go the next half and build. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful thing, man. Gotta build, man. Oh man, the first tank, heavy mental. Yeah, man. You know, that was a very Killer Priest was an early legend. I've interviewed him more than once, but like he was the first one of the first legends that I got to interview. Like, and he was a legend already by the time like after Heavy Mental, you're a legend. And I interviewed him for the second album. And I remember when I went there, like I gave him my first magazine I printed, which was Our Swords, Our Sacred Words, my first issue of Our Sacred Words. You know what I mean? And he was so supportive. He was so peace. I was like, man, he was really great. You know what I mean? He was great. I said, yo, don't give me any ideas though. Don't give me any ideas though. You know, shit. But I'm not gonna be playing hip hop. I pull up on a horse, so I'm gonna be pulling up with a bolero and stuff. It'd be like those old, those Mexican soaps. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be coming through with the ranchero music. You know what I mean? Like, right? That's how we gotta come through. You know? Yeah, we gotta come. We can't. Yeah, we can't do it like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna come through with the horse though. You know what I mean? Like a telenovela, like at the end though. You know what I mean? Like be at the end and shit. You know what I mean? Like you come through and everything. You know, like yeah, yeah, I'm bugging in the comments. Harmony, you dropping your mixtape? Yeah, we gotta get Harmony mixtape. Yeah. See, Indigo, yeah, that makes sense, Indigo, that you got multiple journals. That is a wild beat, Freedom. Yeah, we made it. Hollywood Sunya's gonna pull up with the music, fur coat, and polo slides. Yeah, that and the real horse. Like I'll have the fur and the real horse and shit. Like, you know. Yeah, man. I'm with it. I'm with it. I come through like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how should we do it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna come through like that, right? I already got the music. That's the song right there. There we go. I don't need nothing else. We do it like that. I'll be throwing the books out. Oh yeah, you know, yeah. We can throw that the big polo sombrero, yeah. Yeah, y'all crazy though. Ah man, y'all are crazy, man. Oh yeah, yeah, of course. The serious. I gotta have the serious face. Yo, Sim, that's crazy. 17, the triple entendre. Yeah, that. Yeah, now. See, that's the thing. Now Harmony has to do it. Now Harmony gotta make the mixtape. Yeah. Man, I don't know how you read this with me talking, man. I don't read with myself talking. Oh man. All right, yo, I'll tell you this though. Class is usually from 6 to 8. So anybody that has any questions, anybody that's new out there, I'll be here till 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I'll be here then. Gregory Corker. All right, peace. That's peace, Harmony. That's peace. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know what I mean? That people like that song or any of the songs that I ever make. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always appreciative. You know what I mean? I still am appreciative. People just read the the articles I write or you know or the books I make. You know what I mean? So it's a wonderful thing. It's a test in responsibility to be able to share something that people will do the knowledge to while you are not there. And that's a wonderful responsibility to have, And I would wish that people with social media would treat it like that. Like I wish that they would. I treat social media kind of in the old school frame of like, this is where I share things for people that may not, that'll see it later, but it's part of my mental ideas, and have the respect for it like that. People don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? They look at it like an open journal of just random thoughts escaping, or lashings that escape, you know. But we need to take some kind of form where we take the responsibility, say, listen, from this time to this time, I have taken that time to make something of worth, and I put the effort into it to make it of a high quality to represent me at this moment in time. You know what I mean? Because not everything that you share is going to represent you completely at all times. That is very, very difficult. Sometimes nearly impossible. You know what I'm saying? Right? But it can be done. I mean, This is when I wrote Kind of Perfection. I kind of felt like it did. And after I wrote Kind of Perfection back in, well, I wrote this in that essay in 2020, 2003, 2003. When I finished writing that, I didn't write for a long time. Like, I write daily and I didn't write for months. You know what I mean? And then I had gotten the idea by the end of that year. See, I have them both written as 2023, but Kind of Perfection was being written from the minute I was getting knowledge. 2023 was the year it finished. Whereas Blackest Pedagogy is when I was writing it. What do I write? I've shared the most important parts, things I want people to know. You know? And so I started to write from my perspective. And I'm at a desk. Look, I said I'm at this desk, surrounded by many occupied squares. Man, that's why I said I am alone here. At this desk, surrounded by many occupied squares. I was in a desk job. I was in a cubicle. Only one truth I hold, nonetheless. All the more what I conceal in a shaven facade and a well-attired suit of trousers. Contrasting dress shirt of allowable Latino characters. 2 top buttons unbuttoned on the clock. Adding another off the clock. The occasional colored lynch tie, lest the desire for variation and professional emphasis be left unfulfilled and escapes. I'm just describing how it is to work every day. You know what I mean? I feel restricted in my gear. But like, I just wrote where I was right there, you know? But they tend to last the test of time, you know? Kid, you said today's math is build or destroy. Each day I build and strengthen others around me with my attitude and hard work and actions, destroying any negative assumptions about my work ethic and how I move. That's peace, God. That mantra, imagine you every build day, you remember that. You remember that. It's part of you, you know? Sim, you said I was building with the God the other day and how your writings would go down in history just like the scribes that wrote the Pali Canon. Hey, that's peace, God. That's peace, God. I appreciate that, God. You asked, what instrument do I use to write? Pen, paper, then transfer to digital or on laptop, phone? I don't write that much with pen. With a pen, though, that's more of a personal thing. And sometimes they get creative. That's why, like, I always say, like, when I write in my journal, if something is dope or I think is worthy of publishing or using, actually didn't happen so far here and I'm halfway through this one. But I usually would mark up the margins with squiggly lines to note. But when I write like books and stuff, that's all digital. Like either I write I can write it on a phone, but I use Google Docs, and you know what's crazy? Some of my books become so big that the phone moves slow. So, but it's always on the computer. For some reason, I need to be able to mix match things, and the words are like puzzles to me, so they need to be mixed and matched all the time. You know what I'm saying? They need to be put here. They need to be put there. They need to be rearranged and stuff. And I can't do that on paper. You know what I mean? Paper locks me in, and I see it feels like a cage. Each line that's there feels like a cage. You know what I'm saying? One thing about the digital page, right? The digital page, you go on Google Docs, for example, or something, or even Microsoft Word, but like Google Docs, right? There's no lines on the page. And for some reason, that changes my whole mindset. There's no lines on a Google Doc page. Like when I'm writing there's no lines. You make a tweet or something, like things like that. There's no lines. So there's almost like a freedom. I could mix everything. I could change this, change that. You know what I'm saying? And so that works. That works for me. You know what I'm saying? If people read like my poetry, the collection of all this poetry is like 10 years worth of poetry. They'll see how certain lines become part of songs in this album. and how other lines and how they lead to other things than even on the poem. You know what I'm saying? They're not updated poems. They're extractions and taken to other places. You know what I mean? But mainly it's the laptop or the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because verses are shorter. I have been able to write a lot of verses on the phone. Books, I need more space. I need a bigger space. You know, so I'll write in the books when I'm in the fury. I could be writing in the fury and it's there, but the album, music, songs, lyrics, they're usually both, you know, but I don't write too much with the paper. That's why I keep to the journal to remind myself of the pen and shit like that. You know, it always reminds me of the origins, you know what I'm saying? But when I was a writer with no digital stuff, I always had problems where to put loose ideas, how to find them, how to mix and match them and stuff. And that's why like the digital stuff is a blessing because I really had problems. Like if you were in my home in the early 2000s and stuff, it'd be a mess. Like where my desk was a mess. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd see post-it notes everywhere, scraps. It was, it was just, and a lot of times I would end up throwing away things that were good later, so I had nowhere to put them to like revive them, and so I lost a lot of good lines and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, so definitely the digitals where I usually do, with the with songs, it's either the laptop. I just did a song with Kamal, and I wrote it on the laptop this week. But the song that we did earlier this week, that we've been on it this week, I wrote mainly on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I was somewhere else, I'm away from here. Laptop. But yeah, it's really about the digital space though, and really about the way that I can manipulate the words easier and move them. You know what I mean? The canvas is just more manipulative, and the fact that it doesn't have lines for some reason that frees me up. Because when I look at words, I don't see them in the lines that people end up reading them in. I see them the way I see them. You know what I'm saying? Malik, you said when building a construction of what one thinks of about paralyzed people go through to get to a destination, eliminate what they once thought, and having he or her grasp such helps the mindset. That's a powerful build, God. That's a powerful build. You know what I'm saying? To everyone that is paralyzed somewhere or has some type is somehow different than everyone, unique. God, you're a leading force. You know what I mean? Like you can write the blueprint of how to deal with this. No one else can. You know what I'm saying? How to be this, how to be supreme, how to know that you're supreme. Like the responsibility is huge. I know, because King, I had to get my brother that I do all these great songs with has to be on his Jay-Z shit and doesn't want to write shit. And sometimes I catch him going, Oh man. I appreciate that, Indigo. I appreciate that, And I hope that like there's a kid like obsessed with hip hop and he'd be so overloaded with all the shit that came out, he may not focus with the era that we are in. It's like it's too much stuff. I can only get like surface things, and to have somebody in 2030, 2040, 2050 and all they dig through is, it's good stuff, but all they dig through and find is going to be Rock Marcy and Conway and Griselda, and we got no, that doesn't tell the whole story. That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? That's not enough. Just like if you went back to the 90s and you said like, I went back to the 90s and all you got was, let's say, Tupac, Biggie, and Fugees. I'm big on Tupac. He's a legend of legends, an an absolute GOAT candidate for me. The most unique GOAT candidate. I'll argue that easily with anybody. But if that's all they got, though, then they miss something. They miss too much. You know what I mean? They miss too much, you know? So, like, that's the mentality that gets me to write all this music, all this music. And I want somebody to go through and see some corny female rapper and be like, nah, man, Indigo was the one, Backwards, that was the one right there. That was the one. You know what I mean? You know? And they could have the choice to say, nah, I don't, y'all, nah, I fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? Just like we did with Crates, though. Everybody knew Marvin Gaye, but then we pop out with something else. You know what I mean? We pop out with another guy. You know what I mean? Like, we do, Ken. We got something. Mr. G1, peace, God. Discord app. No, I don't. You said as a useful tool for Peace course where you can still build through YouTube and have the class talk, chat, and screen share. I gotta look into that. I'm slow to stuff when it comes to that. I'm slow to that, but I'm gonna keep. Let me write that down in my notes. Discord app. Okay, I wrote it down. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna do the announce that guy. U3. I don't know. Thoughts about the new SDNAC album? You know what? When people ask me a question like U3, like tell me who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like to know everybody that comes into my classroom. Right? And so we have a very leisurely classroom. I'd also like, if you felt you showed improved something, let me know. You know what I'm saying? That's Peace Substance. I'm definitely gonna do the announce the Discord app. You put me on because I don't know. The new SDNAC. First of all, man, I've been writing about SDNAC, and I'm gonna throw this out there because I get to do that. But there's sometimes the people that are supposed to support you don't support you, and in my writing all these years, I'd be like, I have 20 years of experience writing about music, though, so I'm gonna hear and understand music a little more than you. No matter what people think, and they go, I know what I like in this, I know it's a classic. You most likely don't know music the way I do. You know what I'm saying? And you haven't been privy to music. And I guarantee you that you couldn't describe why you like music the way I'm liking it. So use me as a source as opposed to arrogance, And it's funny that SDNAC, a brother in our nation, years ago, I was saying in 2014, 2013, 2015, as SDNAC started to do solo records, I was saying he's going to be a star. I know I sound like Skip Bayless here, right, King? He's going to be a star, right? I do like Skip Bayless here. But I was always saying that. I was always writing that. You can find me writing stuff about him back then. You know what I'm saying? And I remember telling other 5%ers, and they would be like, well, you don't know the streets. You don't know what's going on. I don't know what me being in the criminal element makes me more in tune with the street, as they give me some shit rapper that a label that's never been on the street has signed and they love. You know what I mean? That's what's funny, right? Street cat today, street niggas will tell you, like real street niggas, they'll go like, yo, this is the guy that you should be. And I'm like, some white guy at a label that's never been in the street or a black neighborhood found that guy being a coon and dancing for you and made himself acceptable to that label, and they pumped him up as for the street, because the sound of the street is being made for the label as opposed to the label making music for the street. And now you telling me that that's the street sound. And I said, watch out. Estinac, Rome streets. Like, I literally had gods that around, again, my peers around my age, they think they know more because they don't want to feel like they're being told that they don't understand music or this is their culture too, whatever. But I'm like, they made fun of me for saying, oh, I remember one said, Griselda's the only shit I listen to. These are supposed to be in my family, 5%ers. Griselda's the only thing I listen to. So these other guys, they're not on that level and stuff. And yet the guys that they laughed at are the ones that Griselda signed, Rome Streets and the God Estinac. And West Side Gun himself knows that these are MCs that are superior MCs to him. For as many great records that West Side Gun makes, though, he just knows that they're superior. It's like Fat Joe signing fucking Pun. You know what I mean? That's what Rome Streets and Estinac on there are like. You know what I mean? But they laughed. You know what I'm saying? Right? That they laughed. You know. This book I wrote. This book came out in October of 2019, and in it I said that I already said Rome Streets was going to be the future. You know what I mean? I wrote a list of rising stars, and they're all superstars. The majority are superstars in here. Have made incredible work. Right? AP the Overlords in here. Raz Fresco. The God King Arthur. Ty the Dale, that's the God. Right? I'm just naming our nation in here. Rim. You know what I'm saying? So many undeniable. My brother 07. A Preem, the God out of Chicago. Right? My brother Willie Waves. Had him in here. You know, so people be sleeping. They be sleeping. You know? So what do I think about the Estinac album? It's as incredible as others. And the truth is that just like Rome Streets, this album is amazing, but it is not his first amazing album. You go last year to the album he did with Sato Gold producing, and you'll be like, even if you hear the new one, that one will blow you away. So where were we? I'm saying this not just for me and the support for me and King Kamal, but I'm like, we have so many dynamos in our nation. 5%ers rhyming that are new, and like they could be the next stars if you go out there and listen to them, if you play and enjoy it. You know, people like Estinac, Al Divino, right? Who's our righteous brother? He's a 5%er. He's our nation. These brothers have fans that are fans. Like they are like near faint shit. Like, oh, I've had people stop me and tell me like, yeah, I met Estinac one time. He was this, that, and the other. And you know what I'm saying? Like telling me stories about me, like they just met their favorite. You know what I mean? Al Divino. These are superstars that, and yet when they come in our nation, they're like, oh yeah, you know. But they're the ones that are building. They're the ones that are telling these people who the black man is. That there's no mystery, God. We should appreciate. Show and prove is also to actually let the greatness that our nation has be shown. Appreciate that. How much we got. Like, I'm going to go in there and I know I'll get one headache when people are like, yeah, I wish it was like past when we used to have all these great rappers and everything. And I'm like, man, that's what I think about SDNAC's album. Every single technique that I've been saying that he does, he did it. I can't say that, oh, wow, look at the charisma on this album. He has never not had that. So to me, this is just like to tell me about a different 45-point game from Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? This guy has made albums that have been dynamic for almost 10 years straight. No, not almost 10 years straight. 10 years straight. You know? Where every year you could find an album that will have an album that'll be exceptional, and particular songs that you'll be like, nobody else sounds like this. That's SDNAC. And that's so hard to do in any field of creativity. You know, where like you hear him, and you're like, oh shit, that's SDNAC. You know what I mean? And appreciate it now, because we don't appreciate him now, and then 10 years later everybody bites him, and then it'll piss me off. I see some of you 5%ers playing some other guy that bites SDNAC really, really well. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a pain in my ass, you know? That's what I think about SDNAC. That's what I think about when someone asks me about SDNAC's album. You know? These brothers, these artists, especially if they're in my nation, I root for them. You know what I mean? I root for them hard. You know? G1 as a way to add elements that expands the functionality, elevates the experience. Well, I hope I can do that. Yeah. I'm definitely going to learn how to use it. You know? That's P.E.A.C.E. Okay. Shit. Now I feel pressure though. I'm so bad with tech though, but I'll figure it out. I think this, you know, I don't know what you mean by compact. Like, I appreciate you saying that I preserve the gems. I don't know how I could be more compact though, you know? That's why I like in the books, the Real of 2022, the Real series of books, they're big books, but I try to keep them into categories. So at least you get into a category that you're always going to be into, and at least you could extend yourself from there and everything. But now music represents more of real life, where everybody has a chance to create and share. And that's one thing I like. You know? That's one thing I like. My writings digitally, people ask me for that. I was saying, I forgot who I was saying this to, but if I ever did, I think I said this in the last class, if I ever did like an audio book, it would be this one, because it's my poems. And these particularly are read a certain way. So I write, when you write a poem, you write them the way you want them to be read. So if I write words like check 1, 2, a voice for the expressions, being quieted by a pop overbite, 3, 4, fight to devour the meekness of singing pastries, selling mills. You know what I mean? I was dissing Drake. This is Drake. This, you know. But anyway, when did I rate this? It's 2015. But anyway, the point was that I wanted people to read it like that. You know what I mean? So if I did an audio book, it would be that, because that would have more exactitude about how I wanted it to be read. So, but it takes a lot of time and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of time. You know? Indeed, substance. Often greatness is beyond current comprehension. You know what I mean? Like when I was in a cipher, right? I was playing Substance 810's music, and they all thought it was dope, right? And I love that. They appreciate it and all that. And there are other musicians And also, but some of the other hosts and stuff, that they're not always journalists though. They're just people that are doing charismatic hosting. So they're not necessarily a journalist. But if somebody plays me something that's really dope, I need to get that immediately. I'm not on my job. I got to complete the tasks now. You know what I'm saying? So I like when I play a lot of times when I train students in martial arts, I'll play Substance. I'll play the catalog, like my playlist of just one guy, you know, and they'll be like, yo, after a while, they're training, I'm hitting them, they're training, they're moving, and they're like, yo, Sunez, what is that? And I said, what that is? And then and that's happened a lot because Substance, you got the tracks that we could just play all day, you know what I'm saying? The tough stuff, you know? That's right. Griselda's just the tip of the iceberg, right? I've been saying that for years, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay, you know what I'm saying? But what happens is that listeners used to take the responsibility of knowing that was just the tip, the beginning, but they don't anymore. And I think it's because there's no one else to show them, you know what I'm saying? They need more detail, they need better journalism, you know what I mean? And I talked about that. That's what I talked about in Never Respect Fake, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when we did that song, that was a big issue, right? I'm playing the beat now, you know. That's why I said, "Don't trip. I take you through the portal. Rip. The invisible renaissance is deeper than Rosenberg's tiny iceberg tip." That was wild. But Malik, you said announcement of devil and he filthy in all of his affairs is just that, running from him as well. I guess so, right? I think this though, right? Because the field of hip hop is so large, though, one thing that is wrong about writing about a genre of music where you just write about the best of the best is that you forget that this is no diss to anybody, but people that do, like, let's say, I'm going to call it regular boom bap of a high level, they may not hit the peaks of creativity of others and may not be like the legends, but it's all of this music here that makes it a whole culture. You know what I'm saying? So we could cover the best of the best, but the mention of everybody else that makes it a culture is very important too. Very important. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's important though. Like, you know, and because I've heard music so long, a lot of times I can tell who's here and who's going to be here. And honestly, the self-fulfilling prophecy is that a lot of times I will tell people, this is what you're doing. And I think that you're not at your even peak yet. Saying that with a respectful insight to their music sometimes catapults them to work to that level and they get there. You know, so that's why, as to me, as my role, I don't think it's just to say best of the best. You know, I'm not an award ceremony. Like I'm not a walking award ceremony. You know, that's for people that want to sell because you're looking for the best of the best, or what you say is the best. What you're really looking for, what they're really looking for, is who's going to be the most commercial. You know, and they don't even do that based on the best, because if it was, they would have hugged Sky Zoo a long time ago. They would be all over SDNAC right now. So a lot of that is bullshit. And not saying that there's not value with you, you know what I mean? But I think some place has to give the whole quality feel, or as much of it that they can, so people can make their decisions of where they want to go. You know? It's like real life, because hip hop's real life. Sometimes you meet people that are good breakers, bad breakers, you know what I mean? Then sometimes you meet people that they they don't they're almost there. They're burgeoning. They're not as good as they once were. So it's important that there's some type of field of documentation that can predict that can notice that. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right. King, you said many people don't know that you wrote the hook for Swords. I was saying, and I said it in the song. I talked about that. You know what I'm saying? I talked about that. Even though I feel like you fixed it. You know what I mean? You fixed it. Like, but yeah. No doubt, substance. Yeah, substance, man. Man, I've never played your music nowhere that nobody say, "Yo, what is that?" And people notice, and they always ask me, "Who is that you're playing?" I have never played your record, and people just kept doing what they was doing, or I had a session and people just kept training. You know what I'm saying? Never. Always actually doing. You know. You three, I'll call you three. Do you think Rock Marcy is on the same level of popularity? First off, I don't really care. It's not in my judgment. So I don't know, and I don't really care. I don't really look at stuff like that. I don't know. Like, he seems more obscure than I think he's more obscure. But I don't know. Yeah. As far as popularity, I don't really care. You know? G1, you said not sure if you're into Marvel comics and all that. The new Spider-Man movie Across the Spider-Verse masterpiece. Haven't been this happy with a Marvel film in a minute. You know what's funny? My favorite superheroes is Spider-Man, so I watch all the Spider-Man stuff, and I watch all the movies and stuff. I don't really read comic books though, although because I just don't. But I tried to. You know what I'm saying? It's just that there's so much stuff to read that gets put on the back burner, like novels do too. You know what I'm saying? Even though I try to work on reading novels more, but I think that I love the first one. So I definitely want to watch that one. Like, and these are boy movies. I have girls though, so my oldest will watch it with me, but my youngest, I have to tell her that there is a Spider Girl, that there is Ghost Spider. She's a girl, and she still rolls her eyes though, because if the girl is not the top lead and the main character, she's like, it's trash. So funny, you know. I gotta check all that. I definitely was gonna intend to see that eventually. You three, you said definitely, but we can maybe have both. And for me, the only person who could do that is the person who covers the regular high level, and that's you. When I write these books, you'll know who I think is the best, though, by how much I wrote about them. And I do make a list of who I think are MC of the Year candidates, So there's a lot of MC of the Year candidates. I don't think it's a clear cut thing, but everybody on that list is somebody that is worth having their catalog or studying them, you know? And, but I don't do favorites though. Like, for example, here's why I don't do favorites though. Because, like, for example, Kevlar 7, Remembered Imperfection, that was my brother. So when he made records though, it had a different meaning to me. So I was seeing his brilliance in a different way than everybody else was. And Bronze Nazareth is my brother, the brother of Kevlar. And his music, before I even met him, had a special resonance with me. You know what I'm saying? And I've always tried to keep that separate and be able to give a detail that is more profound. People like Ka, you know what I'm saying? People like that, they have been influential to me in different ways and built relationships with them on levels at the time and ongoing also that are profound. So I try not to say like, who's my favorite, who's this, you know what I'm saying? But if you see me write about them, if you see how much I write about them, it's there in the detail, because what I'm sharing isn't just a list to throw you away. I want people to see the artwork, and there's an art to what I'm doing too, so that takes time to devour too, you know. That's right. Yeah, Miles Morales. Yeah, and from what I remember, the character Miles is named after Miles Davis, so it's perfect. It's perfect, you know. But yeah, I love the Spider-Man stuff. You know, I love that stuff, and the Transformers. I want to see that too. I don't really expect soundtracks to be great though, because they be putting a lot of current popular people. You know what I'm saying? Right? I was surprised. I saw Creed 3, and I enjoyed the movie just as I thought I was a lot. But I was surprised to hear songs I like, because they had one of my favorite soul singers today, the young girl, Baby Rose, very unique singer, beautiful melisma. Melisma is when your vocals waver. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it sounds to the ear, like it wavers, but it's really because you're going different octaves on the same note. You know, and she does that so good. You know, her melisma. It's called melisma. She does that incredibly. Baby Rose. She's on the Creed 3 soundtrack, you know. But check her out. She has a new album out too. Beautiful, unique singer, you know. Never heard of that. Like I said, I don't know comics too much though, but you know. Okay, so since we're almost to 8 o'clock, I'm gonna let y'all go. At 8 o'clock, I just want to let everybody know again uh, about the Show and Prove weekend. If you're in New York City, let's let you know again. Um, Festivities are all weekend, all weekend. Okay, so if you want to do something Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there is something. Friday is the meet and greet from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Allah School of Mecca. 9 p.m. is a relative date time, because you know if you make the cipher great, the cipher will keep going. You know what I'm saying? But be there 4 to 9. You can meet brothers if you want to meet Dark Kim. If you want, you know, I usually don't go because I'm obsessed with what I'm doing though. So I'm gonna be here writing and be doing all that kind of stuff. But Saturday there's a cookout at Allah School of Mecca again, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Um, those are always fun. Sunday is the actual Show and Prove event at PS 92 on 222 West 134th Street. So that's PS 92, 134th Street. Admission is $10. You know what I'm saying? $10, and all the children are free. You know, and it so you know what I mean. It's gonna be nice, to say the least. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So let me know if there's any questions. The tour, yes, there's a tour. Oh man, I forgot who's doing that. Um, I could have sworn I had like the thing for that. That's Saturday. That's Saturday too. So I would say on Saturday, get there at 3 if you really want to do the tour. That way you're ready to go. I don't know what time they do the tour, but it's Saturday. So definitely get there by 3 o'clock at the Law School of Mecca. You know what I mean? And that's nice to do, you know? Especially if you're new to New York City, like you're not from New York City and you get the knowledge. It's a great thing to do. Yeah, I forgot about that. The tour, to mention that. You know what I'm saying? What else we have here? Um, why am I lost where I'm at? I'm looking through the comments and I can't find. Okay. Father Shah, that's right. He's doing it. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know how long the tour takes. If you want to make sure that you're on the tour, be there at 3, because it's probably gonna leave like at 4. Because the Saturday everything starts officially at 3. So if you get there at 3, then you'll make sure you'll be there. Peace indigo. Sham God, the God that does pull-ups, is doing it to. Yeah, that's a good way of describing him. Yeah. All right. I don't usually go on Show and Prove weekend. I make sure I go there Sunday. I'm not always there on Saturday. You know what I mean? So that's why. You know. NBA Finals. I like to go to sleep with soul music, or my jazz ballads, though, not NBA Finals. That shit is boring as hell to me. You know, I don't want to see. I like Jamal Murray, but I don't want to see all that Jokic. That's boring as hell to me. And the Heat, come on, man. You know, if star players didn't choke so much today, you wouldn't see all these scrubs become legends. You know what I'm saying? Because they're shooting with nothing to lose, while the superstars are scared of being maligned and stuff, so they're choking. Now you see scrubs, 5 points a game guys hitting the winning shot or whatever. In this decade, the show improves because of COVID and stuff. When I have gone, I've been there very short. You know what I'm saying? And I was saying, though, I do blame it on my little girl. Sometimes she don't want to hang out like that and watch everybody asking me stuff. But yeah, all season though, when it comes to NBA, I have been very, very bored. So I have honestly, I just enjoy watching Curry. Everybody else bores the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really watch too much NBA like that. All I see is a lot of chucking from 3-point land, and that looks disgusting. You know, long rebounds. Boring. But yeah, that's my take on that. So again, show and prove weekend, man. Everybody be there. You know what I'm saying? Um, do not invitation to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Including the trolls. King, should the trolls come through? You think we have the trolls come through? Maybe, I don't know what y'all think. See what they showed and proved. You know, I kind of want Miami to win the whole thing, so we could just have it like a year of scrubness, boringness, right? But on that note though, take some time in your journal, write down what you showed improved this year so far. You know, what's tangible, what's personal, like study what's tangible, real things you made, created, you know what I'm saying, what you did, all of these things, what you think if you're teaching students, if how well do you think you've done well, in sharing with them. But take this show and prove is like a judgment of self over the last year, you know what I'm saying. We shouldn't just do it at the end of the year, you know what I'm saying, New Year's, but this time is also good to do, you know what I mean, right? All right. And with that said, I will let everybody go. If you were going to show and prove, I'm gonna stay there a long time. I'm gonna be there too, and I'm gonna stay as long as I can. So I'd probably be running around the whole time. Like I'll be there. So if you go, look out for your brother. You know what I mean? I'll be looking for everybody because I don't know what everybody looks like here, right? All right. So with that said, I'm gonna say peace. Um, I really wanted to be at the school, so it was kind of fun. Everybody asking me all this stuff. Let me talk about stuff that that I've done and stuff like that. It's an honor. Um, so yeah, be there. You know what I'm saying? Be there. All right. That's peace. That's peace. You know what I mean? And get your cameras out. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a lot of flicks. You know what I'm saying? Right? And it'll be good. All right. I'll see everybody there. All right. Peace.